What is up, my fellow creeps? Now we know Saber Interactive is coming out with a new Hellraiser game, but the big story here isn't just that we're getting a new Hellraiser game. It's what this game means for the broader landscape of single-player horror and the future of movie-based games. Let's get into it. So at Gamescom 2025, Saber Interactive came in fully prepared with sick bags, actual sick bags. Now I know it was probably just for show, but this alone sets the tone for what this game is aiming to be. It's a first-person survival horror adventure set between our world and the Cenobites dimension, and the trailer wastes no time, reminding you exactly what franchise you're stepping into. For anyone who isn't super deep into the Hellraiser universe, this franchise has always stood apart from the typical slasher formula. It's not about a mass killer stalking teenagers. Hellraiser is a cosmic horror wrapped in temptation, a mythology built around the box, a puzzle device that opens a gateway to a dimension where pain and pleasure are inseparable. The Cenobites aren't evil in the traditional sense. They're explorers. They offer experiences that reshape you, literally and psychologically. That slow, ritualistic, lore-heavy vibe is exactly the kind of world that thrives in a story-driven single-player game. Now let's get into the real conversation, because Hellraiser Revival might end up being one of the most influential horror releases of this generation, not because of sales or hype, because of what it represents. Horror fans want story again. We're in a moment right now where horror is blowing up on every level. Indie horror, new IPs, remakes, AAA revivals, you name it. But the thing that's really starting to return is that slow burn, narrative-driven single-player experience. Look at what's happening. Alien Isolation showed there's a market for deep cinematic horror. Texas Chainsaw and Evil Dead went multiplayer. Dead Space returned and crushed. Silent Hill broke records with its latest release. Alan Wake 2 proved horror storytelling can be award-winning, and of course, Resident Evil 9 is right around the corner. But what we haven't seen enough of is legacy horror IPs giving us brand new stories through single-player games. That's exactly what Hellraiser is doing. Game adaptations are becoming canon testing grounds. Movies are expensive, reboots are risky, fans can be passionate, let's say. Video games are becoming this perfect middle ground where studios can explore new characters, expand lore, show us places the movies never had time for, and experiment with tone and world building without messing with the main movie continuity. Hellraiser is one of the best franchises for this because it's not built on a traditional slasher structure. It's built on a whole mythology of pleasure, pain, temptation, and transformation. A game gives that mythology room to breathe. And if Hellraiser works, don't be surprised when studios start greenlighting a single-player Nightmare on Elm Street where you navigate dream worlds, a good Saw immersive sim where you solve moral choice traps, a proper Friday the 13th story-driven horror game, maybe even weird artistic expansions of cult classics. Games could become the place where these universes actually grow again. Publishers finally trust single-player horror again. This might be the biggest point of all. For years, publishers treated single-player horror like a small risk, but now horror always sells. It trends, it streams, it goes viral, and it has some of the most loyal fan bases in gaming. The success of titles like Resident Evil Village, Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Lies of P, Outlast Trials, and dozens of indie hits have shown the industry that horror fans are hungry. Not just for jump scares, but for world building. Hellraiser entering the ring as a full-budget next-gen story-driven horror game, that's a big statement. It says if you invest in horror, if you take it seriously, if you let creators get weird, the audience will show up. And that's how we get more ambitious horror games in the future. So yeah, Hellraiser Revival looks insane, it looks disgusting, it looks painful, it looks beautiful in that twisted Hellraiser way, but the bigger picture is the real reason this game matters. It shows that movie IPs can tell new stories through games. It shows publishers are willing to put money behind narrative horror again, and it shows there's a growing demand for single-player experiences that aren't afraid to push boundaries. If Hellraiser lands the way it should, this could be the start of a new golden era for cinematic horror games, the kind that respect the source material but aren't afraid to evolve it. So let me know in the comments, are you excited for Hellraiser Revival? Does the trailer make it a must play for you? And what movie franchise do you want to see become the next big single player horror game? And if you want more horror gaming news and updates, please like and subscribe to our channel. Stay creepy, my friends. That is all I got for now.